And we do have some folks that are waiting to talk to us online. Do
Yeah.
you want to maybe talk to Christopher calling in from California, Christy?
Yeah. Hey, let's do it.
All right, let's get him on here. Christopher, pronouns are he, him, calling in from California. And he would like to share some thoughts about putting sperm into a sperm bank and then getting a vasectomy to eliminate accidental pregnancies in this current climate of preventing abortions that you guys seem to be all crazy about in the United States. Christopher, you are live on SecX.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. So I know I'm a little behind the game because that happened a while ago, but I just recently started researching it because I do want to have kids one day. I think I'm still questioning that a little bit, but
Sure.
I want to have that choice in the future. But at the same time, I want to be able to plan when I'm a parent. So
Sure.
a vasectomy seems like a good choice if it's possible to reverse, but that's not 100%.
Yeah, no, that's all fair to say. So I guess you are worried about what happens if you get pregnant when you don't want to get pregnant and don't have a lot of options. It's certainly a right of yours that I would support to say, yeah, you can save up some sperm in a bank. You can have your vasectomy. If for whatever reason, a like in vitro fertilization or some other procedure down the road isn't able to be completed with what you have banked, in most situations, you would have the opportunity to reverse your vasectomy and would still have sort of a quote backup. So, I mean, your plan is solid and valid, but elaborate, right? Like there's a lot
Yeah.
to that. And I certainly wouldn't want to stand here and tell you like, no, don't do it as a stranger on the internet. I'm not allowed to tell you what to do with your body, which, if we could all learn that, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly.
That would be really nice.
But if you are calling to ask for advice, I do have to say it feels invasive. I don't doubt that there are a lot of folks, particularly women listening, who are like, yeah, it's not that invasive when you compare it to everything else, and that's valid too. But I don't know, Jason, Nate, what do y'all think here? Does this feel like an appropriate response to the political moment we're living in?
To me, it seems like an extreme approach to birth control, but again, I'm not American. I don't live down there, so I don't know what that's like to live in that sort of culture. I mean, your body, your choice. Vasectomies are reversible. The shorter the time between the vasectomy and the reversal, the higher the chance of success, I'm led to believe. Yeah, I mean, if I were faced with a complete ban on abortion, I might consider such extreme measures too. What do you think, Jason?
Now, I got my vasectomy about a year after my daughter was born. And the one that I got when I went in and I talked to my doctor, he had mentioned, I'm like, so I heard they're reversible. He goes, well, I can do one that would be pretty difficult to reverse. And I told him that's the one I wanted. So, I mean, that's my experience with the vasectomy. He did like a double ligation and then he did cauterization and burnt it back pretty far. Now, I guess, again, I can't give advice, but if you're wanting to have kids, you can always get the one that can be reversed. Or the sperm bank. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much money. I mean, does it cost a lot of money to store your sperm?
And the vasectomy itself can be pretty pricey. What are you looking at?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I've done like a few hours of research, so I may not be getting everything, but from the sounds of it, it's only like $100 to $500 a year to store the sperm. And yes, vasectomies are expensive. I think some of the cheaper ones were a few thousand, and that's with support from insurance in America.
Yeah.
Can be pretty pricey. But I don't really know how else a guy could do birth control, because it seems to be all on the woman to do birth control too. That's the other half that I didn't really mention in the beginning.
It shouldn't be like that, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean, that is
appreciate
sort
that
of
too.
the nature of the conversation right now, but there is nothing in the world preventing you from carrying your own and being responsible for BYO condom, BYO spermicidal lubricant. Like that is a responsibility that I think more men, more penis havers in general need to take on and be responsible for.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, that's for me. Whenever I got the vasectomy, sorry, I've said vasectomy. When I got the vasectomy done, I had already been married for 8 years. We were monogamous, and she was high risk. Like if my daughter almost killed my ex-wife, and she couldn't have a kid
Oh,
again.
wow.
It was just real bad, you know. So I got that as a way to make it easier on her. And of course, you know, I enjoy not having to use a condom, and I was with a consenting adult, and it actually turned out that she did have to have medical procedures that made her to where she couldn't have kids again, or kids, and in the future. But up until that point, I put it on me. That way, she didn't have to take birth control. We didn't have to worry about spending the money on, condoms or anything like that. So.
Hmm.
So
Well,
I hope
thank you
that
guys
gives you
very
some
much.
insight, Christopher. Yeah, we do appreciate you taking this on and taking on some
Yeah.
personal responsibility here. I do wish more men were doing it. So
Oh yeah.
hopefully you find the right option for you. Definitely, that is a thing to be talking about with your doctor rather than your friendly local neighborhood internet podcasters. But we
Very
definitely
true.
appreciate you checking in with us.
Well, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Okay, you too.
That is that I mean, again, I think that's a bit of an extreme response, but I mean, that guy's cooking with the right recipe,
Yeah,
he's thinking
asking
the
some
right
right
way.
questions. I definitely won't argue with that.
Well, plus he's
Think
taking
he might be leading
responsibility.
a
Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
Yeah,
is the
and that's
important
that's huge.
component. And I'll be curious to just hear the chat sort of sound off about their experiences and whether or not this feels like a appropriate response, because it is difficult to know what is normal right now, what should be
Yeah.
normal right now.